So, hi there, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching in the world. We're here on Boxing Media Hub for another live prediction show, this time for Boots Ennis versus Karen Chukhadzhian 2. And I've got two very special guests joining me. I've got Mr. Neutral from my Boxing Hub, and we've got the only one, Matt MVO from Brunch Boxing. How are you guys doing tonight? Thank you for joining me.
I'm good, man. How you guys doing tonight?
Mr. Neutral.
I'm actually made up to see Matt on here. I'm stoked. It's been a while, Matt.
There you go, mate. So
Always
everyone's
good to see
happy,
you,
everyone's
James, my
happy.
man.
So we're proudly sponsored by Falcon Contracting and Jams Boxing Chat. Thank you for joining us on all the platforms that we're on tonight, which is LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. Appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you hit up that subscribe button and like and share with the peoples around you. We appreciate you. Let's get to the fight. So we've got Jaron Boots Ennis, 32-0-0. A formidable fighter, 29 knockouts. Can he be stopped? He's fighting Karen Chukhadzhian for the second time, as we well know. Chukhadzhian's a tough operator, 24-2-0 with 13 knockouts. He's based in the Ukraine. Well, he was based in the Ukraine. He's not anymore, but he was. He was last out against Harry Scarf, which he won by UD. And we had Jaron Boots Ennis, who was last out against David Evanesian, who he retired in the 5th round. Both formidable opponents. Who wins it, guys? How does it go? Mr. Neutral, can we take you first, sir?
Yeah, of course. Good to see, first of all, good to see Boots back in action. It's much needed after, his last down uh, against David Avanesian, if I'm correct
It
in
was, yeah.
saying. So, yeah,
Retired him in the 5th, Mr. Neutral, yeah.
yeah. Uh, since signing with Eddie Young, I feel he's eager for that big fight. There was talk of Crawford, etc., etc. But look, he's at 147. I expect another victory. Could be even another knockout. Get back into knockout winning ways. He's got a 90% knockout rate. He's a dangerous, dangerous boxer. And yeah, this should be easy work as far as I'm concerned. I'm expecting really a masterclass from Boots Ennis this Saturday, just to reaffirm and make that statement to his contenders and would-be contenders that he's here to stay. And yeah, so I'm expecting a really good performance, Jams. And
Yeah.
I'm going for a knockout mid-rounds between 5 and 8.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing better than last time, mate, because last time he won it by cards of 120 to 108 times 3. So I don't even get why this rematch is happening myself. I was hoping Matt might have a bit of insight as to why it's happening, because it's ridiculous. He beats him flawlessly, 120, 108 on all 3 judges. Matt, why is this fight happening again, brother?
Well. My reading of the tea leaves, well, not really the tea leaves, just the situation. The reason why the fight is happening again is because no fighter is interested in dealing with not the WB, the IBF rehydration. If you look at what goes on with the WBF, go look at their rankings. Go look at the top of their rankings. It's mostly fighters based in like Eastern Europe, like Germany and stuff like that, because those are the guys that are willing to sacrifice I think in the welterweight division it's like 11 pounds. Those are the guys that's willing to sacrifice that in order to fight for the title, because they're not very popular. But in the IBF, no matter how popular you are, as long as you pay your dues and you fight the eliminators, you're going to get your title shot. So that's why you see those Eastern European fighters going for the title shot. And unfortunately, nobody else stepped up. So Chukhadzhian went right back to the top of the line. Now, here's the thing about this fight that really bugs me. I'm really upset that people are mad at the IBF for this fight happening. Don't blame anybody but Boots Ennis, because at the end of the day, he didn't have to fight David Avanesian in his last fight. He chose to fight David Avanesian. As soon as Cody Crawley couldn't get approved by the commission because of the eye issue, they should have called up Karen Chukhadzhian right away. Hey, let's get this IBF mandatory out of the way. But they decided not to do that, so now he got to fight his mandatory. It is what it is. As for how this fight goes, I agree with Neutral. I think Boots stops him this time. I would like to see Boots stop him a little bit earlier than Neutral sees it going. I would like to see him stop him within the first 4 rounds. I want you to track this guy, beat him up, and get him out of there. Because the last time we saw these two guys fight was one of the worst fights that I've ever seen. So I don't want to see that again. I want to see Boots improve against people that move. Okay, he has to learn how to improve against people that move. Anybody can look good against a punching bag. Anybody can look good against somebody offering little resistance. But when you got somebody who's a negative fighter like Karen, can you track him down and get him out of there and deliver a performance for the fans? I suspect Boots will be able to do that, and I suspect that's what he will do. So I'm taking Jaron Boots Ennis within the first 4 rounds.
Fantastic, mate. Thank you so much, Matt MVO from Brunch Boxing. Really appreciate you joining us, mate, and I love your insight into the fight. I completely agree with what you just said and what Mr. Neutral said. Boots definitely needs to get the stoppage this time. Like, the last time, yeah, he won every round, so he's got to go one up, hasn't he? Otherwise, it's a downward step. You know, if you're going to rematch the same guy, you've got to do better than the time before. You know, and he beat him, what was it, 121.08? This time he's got to knock him out. So let's see Boots Ennis come in here, start letting his hands go, show what we're all hearing about him, which is that he's one of the greatest fighters on the planet, which I believe he is. And let's see him let them hands go to work and take Karen Chukhadzhian out. And let's see it early. I want to see it within 4 or 5 rounds, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I think the explanation for the fight being made is the fact that Karen Chukhadzhian has worked his way back up the rankings with his 3 latest wins. 2 of them have been quite, against decent operators like Pietro Rossetti, 18-1, and Harry Scarf, 13-2. So it's little surprise that the IBF, have put these, as Matt quite rightly says, these Russian and Eastern European fighters that, don't naturally walk around a lot heavier than the fight weight that they're fighting at, so they can make this hydration clause quite easy. But again, we come back to the point where, Masha made a heavy investment in Boots, and he didn't need to fight David Avanesian last time. It was a bit of a nothing fight, even with the retirement. But I just wonder where after Saturday with Boots, should the inevitable, what we think is going to happen, it's just what's going to happen next. I'm failing to see a path at a welterweight. So, what does Matt think?
Are you still with us, Matt? I'll tell you what, I'll jump to the comments and we'll see if we can get Matt back in, because we seem to have lost a little bit of connection. He's all the way in the United States, so it happens, guys. We apologise for that. But anyone joining us for the first time, please do hit that like, give a share, and hit that subscribe button to us over on YouTube. We'll really appreciate y'all. We'll bring you more great boxing content as and when we can. DJ Pat said, evening, boys. Good evening to yourself, DJ Pat, all the way in Sweden. The boss man, he said, Boots bangs. Yes, he certainly does, Joel. He certainly does. DJ Pat said, Boots all the way, nothing else, and IBF need to drop their shithouse rules and get into 2024. Well, that's a subject for another day, but it's so true. No matter what, Boots will level up in the division when he has taken care of this mandatory fighter. Yeah, I agree. SWS Boxing, Sammy has said Boots all day. Poor opponent for Boots. Well, it is after he beat him 12-0 last time. Yeah, Boots round 3. We've got inevitable D-Block D-Town. What's the link? Oh, I can't put the link on, mate, while I'm live, because I've only got the bloody phone. Joel, if you're still watching, bro, can you send it to Inevitable D-Town so he can jump in? If you can send the link of the show to him, I'd love that, mate, if you can get D-Block on. Because I can't send it, unless you can send it, Neutral. Do you know the link I sent you? Excuse me. If you can send it to D-Block, mate.
It's on my phone, same as you.
Yeah, same. I can't do it while I'm live. You know what I mean? I've got no laptop at the minute or anything. But sorry, D-Block, I would love to have you on else, mate. I'd love to have you. I'll tell you what, D-Block, I'll send you the link for the next one if you want to join me for the Jesse Bam Rodriguez one. Right, hopefully we've got Matt MVO back now. There we go. Yeah, because I can see his pretty print bunch
Can you
boxing.
hear me
There we
now?
go. He's back.
There we go.
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
I had a connection issue, so I had to get out of StreamYard and reconnect because it said I was backstage, and I hear you talking to me, but the app said I was backstage. So I was like, "What's going
Oh,
on here?"
sorry about that, mate. It happens a bit on this at the moment. Apologies for that. So we were just talking about the fight anyway, mate. So you got anything else you want to add on it? Like, what do you think Boots should do next after he takes care of Karen Chukhadzhian?
Listen, anything but Conor Ben. Okay, I know what they're really setting up for. They want to bring him to the UK for Conor Ben. Anything but Conor Ben. He needs to
I send that to
call.
D-Block.
Yeah, he needs to call Stanionis. He needs to call Barrios. Listen. I would even like to see Boots against Rashidi Ellis before I see Boots against Conor Ben. I want to see him against the very best that 147 has to offer. I understand that people think that 147 is a thin division, but you still got guys like Rashidi Ellis, you still got Brian Norman, you still got Barrios, you still got Stanionis. Those are the names that Boots Ennis should be fighting.
Yeah, that sounds about right, mate, to be honest. That sounds good. That
Yeah.
sounds good. That sounds good. So how did who was it who lost these purse bids to Chukhadzhian's team? Because this fight was meant to happen in Germany originally, wasn't it? Do you remember when they won the purse bids? It was supposed to be in Germany. Why did it get changed? And why did they go for the purse bids after losing 12-0 to someone? I don't see it. I don't
Okay,
get it.
so the reason why it got changed is because Eddie Hearn did a side deal with P2 Box Promotions in
That
order
was
to
it.
get them to hold it in Philly. They won the purse bid. They were gonna pay for it. Eddie Hearn gave them a little extra to say, hey, let this deadline expire and let's bring the fight to Philly. So that's what they did.
Oh, thank you, Matt, mate. See, this is why I bring legends like Mr. Neutral and Matt MVO on, mate, because they know the inside scoop on this stuff. This is what we do here on Boxing Media Hub. We bring the talent. We bring the talent. So that's fantastic, mate. So, Neutral, anything you want to add to this fight, mate? Before D-Block joins, if he comes in with his facts and whatnot.
Yeah, I think this boy is going to want to prove that the loss to Boots wasn't as wide as it should be, or it should have been. I think, will he present a different problem to Boots this time round? Did he learn anything in the ring with him? Let's see. But Boots has to be on outstanding form. He has to be hungry. He has to be, he has to be ready, and to deliver what fans are expecting, not what they wish, is what they're expecting in this kind of fight, which adds, for me, a bit more pressure.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. And at the end of the day, he's got to prove that he's not getting whitewashed again. He's got to prove something because his team went out and bid a lot of money on this fight. They put a lot of money on the line for him to get this rematch. He needs
Do
to
they
have
feel
something
that he's improved?
different.
We'll have to see.
Exactly, brother. Yeah, he has to prove he's got something different. Otherwise, what they're wasting their money on. SWS Boxes just says hats off, but he lost 12-0 last time. That's my point. Yeah, I get you, Sam. I get you, mate. I thought the same thing when I seen it, mate. And it was meant to be, like I say, in Germany, because the team who won it were going to take it to Germany. But obviously, Eddie Earl and Boots have wangled it, probably paid a little bit of some to someone. It doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion. This fight makes no sense. This fight shouldn't be happening.
Let me ask you guys a question, though. Does Karen Chukhadzhian have any chance of winning this fight at all?
I'd say no. Can you see Boots being beat by Karen Chukhadzhian?
Not on his worst day.
Unless he comes in asleep and just doesn't do anything, I can't see it. You know what I mean? I can't see it, Matt. To be honest. Yeah. No disrespect to Chukhadzhian. He's only lost 2 fights, and one of them was very early on against, was it Volodlavsky back in his early days, and his only other loss was obviously to Boots. So it's he's fought at a good level, and Ukrainians are built tough, and they're on a crest of a wave at the minute. They've got a war going on in their country. They're all fighting for their own. They want to be proud. They want to be like Usyk. They want to be like the rest of them. Derevyanchenko. They're all tough motherfuckers, mate, and they're going to come to
This
fight.
is
They're
the
not going to
added
give an
element,
inch if they don't
Charles.
have to.
Exactly.
They're going to
This
fight
is
to
the
the
added
death because
element.
that's what they're doing in their real life. But
How
Boots is next
inspired
level.
has Karen Chukhadzhian been, inspired by not only his countrymen, but his win since. There's always a different element being brought to a rematch. So it will be interesting. But I go back to the point.
And
Whether
horrible Harry Scarf is no
that's
easy mug either, Neutral. Horrible Harry Scarf is a tough operator, mate. So,
but such is the pressure on Team Ennis to produce a knockout in this fight to appease the media, never mind the fans, because the media are all expecting Butch to do a number on this guy. We're all expecting a knockout. So if he doesn't deliver that,
you're right. But one thing that does cause me concern from the Boot side is that these guys, they keep talking about what he's going to do after the fight. They making plans after the fight, and you should never do that in boxing. You have to have a proper amount of respect for your opponent, because boxing is the one sport that will humble you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always
absolutely,
that punch.
man.
There's always that one punch that can just change the level of the game.
You get media are always going to ask, what's next? What's next? What's next? But there's only one answer. And even Campbell Hatton, when I interviewed him, reaffirmed it. I'm not looking past anyone else. My mind is on this guy. Canelo proved that to Turki Al-Sheikh when he had Berlanga preparing for that fight and said to him, no, talk to me after Berlanga. And, we all know what happened after that. So there's only one right answer. And when people are making statements to the contrary, as Matt says, you're one very thin line between delusion and humbleness.
That's true, mate. That's true. Right, anyway, guys, that's the end of this one because this was a quick prediction show. We're going to be back for the Bam Rodriguez fight in a moment. I'd love Matt to join if you've not got better to do, mate. If you can join us, I'd really appreciate that. Neutral will send you the link if you're available. We're going to wrap it up here because I've got to get live again in 2 minutes. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Please hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. We really appreciate you. Thank you to my special guest, Mr. Neutral, and Matt MVO from Brunch Boxing. Absolute legends. You guys take care, and I'll see y'all soon.